This music is pretty jammin'. Alright, hello everybody, this is Cheeseburger Jesus, and it's been a long time since I've said that. Man, I'm honestly so sorry that it's taken so long. But if you can't tell, I have the music on for this episode at least, so... He was kind enough to send me a file with my save file, and oh lord. It's been a while since I played. And now I have music. Oh, that scene did. Anyways, damn it! Even after copying tutorials, I still can't get her eyes right. It's been so long. I might be a tad lost, but we shall push onwards. I remember it mostly. I have to keep trying. A knock disturbs me. I sigh and drop the pencil. I open the door and a smile seizes my lips. Hey, Sarah. Sarah perks up and greets me with a nod. Would you like to come to the forest? Sure, give me a moment to get ready. When she turns to lead the way, a worn-looking satchel hangs from her back. Oh boy, you can tell I'm gonna start putting up the music again, cause this one's gonna have music. This video is. I don't know how loud that is to mute my mic, but as we reach the steps, she relaxes with a deep breath. It all feels a little surreal. The air is fresh. The birds sing subtle melodies. The trees sway in the afternoon breeze. It all brings with it a carefree smile to my face. The sun creeps through openings in the canopy. Specks of dust dance in the rays of the light. She slows, a gentle smile resting on her lips. I follow her gaze to see two butterflies flying in circles together. She imbues the simple things with a sense of wonder. All of a sudden, she stops and brushes away some leaves. She picks up a stone and inspects it before slipping it into her satchel. What are you doing? Collecting pebbles. I'm not exactly sure what to say to that. It's a stone. But I feel like I need to keep the conversation going. Is it a hobby of yours? I'm not exactly sure what to say to that. Wait, did I go back? Yeah, I did. Well, kinda. Ah, cool. But quickly run out of things to say. Although I do enjoy her placid company, it's hard to appease my curiosity of her. It's like there's a wall around her, and every time I seem to remove a break, she replaces it with another. It only adds to her mysterious nature. I'm fascinated to learn more about her past, and her memories. Yeah, I'm too scared to ask, as she will most likely expect me to reciprocate. Contrition settles in my stomach when I realize I'm hiding behind my own wall. It makes me question my part in this. How can I expect her to open up if I'm holding out myself? It puts a bit of a downer on my good mood. One thing I could say that I'm consistently good at. Wait, okay, so if I click to the left of the screen, it takes me back. Okay. As we reach the reservoir, she stops and takes in the view. I follow suit. The placid water is like a symbol of the atmosphere, and scenery and company. But it breaks as I see a movement in my peripheral, and a stone skimming across the water. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoa. I turn to her. She flashes a bashful smile and shrugs. This is why. It was kind of my hobby. She proceeds to take out another stone and lines herself up, leaning her left leg forward and following through with a twist in her abdomen. I hear it skim 8 times, but can't take my eyes from Sarah. Want one? I inspect the rock, noticing it's smooth, flat, and rounded. I set myself up, trying to imitate her throwing posture, but I only get an initial bounce. She hands me another. You've got the stance down, but allow it to roll off your finger. Like this. She demonstrates how to hold the stone, and motions how it should flick off the index finger. The spin will keep it steady when it deflects off of the water's surface. I follow her advice the best I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, did you see that? She nods and giggles sweetly, lining herself up for another throw. Do you do this often? Sometimes. Alone? The past few times. What about those girls from the art club? They're not my friends. Her pebble sinks without a single skim. I see. Well, thanks for bringing me. She matches my smile. It's nice to have company. I can't agree more. I take another stone and manage a decent throw. Sarah? Yeah? I fight the ways to phrase my circumstances. What do you think's left of a person who's lost their memories? Even as we carry on skimming stones, I notice her head tilt with thought. It's hard. I think deep down they'd still be similar, but your experiences shape you. It reminds me of an old Russian proverb. Dwell on the past and you'll lose an eye. Forget the past and you'll lose both eyes. I actually really like that. I'm gonna have to write that down. What makes you ask? I've just been wondering what makes people who they are. I've studied some basics in psychology, but I'm probably not the best person to ask. It's a good answer, thank you. She nods and holsters her stone. What's your passion, Peter? Her sudden question leaves my mouth open and brain frozen. I don't know. Her brow furrows. Her lips twist and her smile returns. Not many people do. It only makes me question myself more. Is art really for me? There's one thing I do know. I don't regret my decision to join. Sarah throws another and scores 11. That was the last one. We should get going? I'm still pensive about her response. It's always been clear that I've been blind to the past, but that makes me blind to the future too. For the first time, I'm beginning to look forward to the future. It's been, oh god, bees. I'm put off by a giant bee in my peripheral, buzzing loudly by my ear. It anticipates my every move as I dodge left and right. Stop moving around so much. I run away and manage to evade the bee. As I return, she covers her mouth with the back of her hand, giggling sweetly. In these first few weeks together, I realize that this is the first time I've seen her genuinely laugh. I chuckle and rub the nape of my neck. Well, I'm glad to be some sort of entertainment. But it's been nice. Thanks for bringing me. Her lowering hand reveals her smile. It has. Thanks for coming. We've both decided to head straight to the art room. I sit myself down and wait for Sarah. We haven't spoken since the forest, but I feel like we've made some good ground. She avoids my gaze and takes the seat beside me. Hey. A smile seizes her lips. Hey. Just a small greeting is nice after our silence last lesson. The lesson is uneventful. Sarah seems busy by the back, but when I make my way over, she's staring into the equipment. Got any plans for your project? Not really. Laughter echoes in from the hallways. She stiffens and gazes toward the window. Should we go? She nods. As I make my way out, I can feel her presence in tow. The laughter continues. It's the same girls I saw her speaking to after the last lesson. Sarah shrinks as they approach. The smallest girl meets us. She's blonde with a small frame and a confident air. Hey, Sarah. By the way, I know it's like 10 minutes in, but I'm not doing any voices. I'm just gonna read through. I couldn't remember if I did voices or if I did who I did the voices for. But There's a moment of silence as Mr. Thatcher passes through. Her eyes narrow. Do you think coming back with a boy is going to change things? Ooh, intense music. No, it's not. Sarah's wavering voice sinks my stomach into the pit of realization. What's going on here? The girl's lips squeeze into a smirk. Sarah's not as straight as she seems. A red flush paints Sarah's cheeks. It's not that. Don't lie. Sarah startles. Her outburst even catches me off guard. What business is that of yours? She made it my business when she kissed her in front of me. Oh. Okay. Her eyes narrow at Sarah. You're a freak. The scorn in her voice, matched by sniggers from her friends. Rage wells up my throat. You need to shut your mouth. I position myself between her and Sarah, thrusting my finger in her face. Are you threatening me? Sarah gives my sleeve a tug, but I'm not about to back down. I'm warning you. Do you even know who I am? Some bitch. This bitch's brother will shut your mouth. Is that why? I like just how angry and how quickly it escalated, but it fits. Is that why you're a bitch? Because you can hide behind others for your actions? Her friend grabs her by the shoulders. Come on, we need to go. Fine. She looks over me with a scoff and addresses Sarah. Go and slit your wrists. I'm sure your boyfriend will help. She shoots a grin as they walk through the doors. I turn to Sarah, who's burying her gaze into the ground. Are you okay? She grasps her thigh and exhales. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't have come back here. Why are you sorry? You can't let them treat you like that. It's not right. She stiffens up, her arms trembling by her sides. Look, it'll be okay. I place my hand on her shoulder, but she flinches to my touch. You don't know her brother. Her quivering voice leaves me in a moment of doubt, but I cast a stern tone. Have you told Mr. Thatcher about this? She shifts her head from side to side. What about Mr. Adams? Then the other side. You need to tell them. She snatches a breath and snaps toward the exit. I barely keep up. I'm left to watch on as she shuts her door. Sarah? Sarah! It's clear she wants to be alone. I slam my fist on the desk. What had they said to her after the last lesson? I just walked on by, lost in my own worries. Go and cut yourself. It shocked me to hear her say that. How could a human being say that to another? I shudder at my naive question. I can't settle my mind or the anger in my stomach. I can't believe how horrible that bitch would treat Sarah. My palm keeps connecting with her cheek in my mind's eye, knowing I couldn't do it. With a clearer head, I brood over yesterday's events. I didn't know I had it in me to defend her like that. I'm not sure I'd have defended myself like that even. But the scorn she treated Sarah with, just for being different. The thought sparks a pang of anger. Why would Sarah have joined the club again? Because of my whim? I need to talk to Mr. Adams. He wouldn't have urged her to rejoin if he'd known. But my stomach falls empty. I don't think we'd have spoken much without my whimsical choice. Would we drift apart without this rivet of art? It's a thought I have put more weight on than I realized. As I leave for class, I'm caught up with an urge to knock on Sarah's door. But what would I say? She's probably left for class anyway. Just as I'm getting into the swing of schoolwork, my concentration is knocked. Jennifer waves and glances over a few times, but she doesn't speak. I could have used a distraction, but I can't deny that I pushed her away. I explain through the details to Mr. Adams. It sounds like Rachel. She's a troublesome one. As for Sarah, I had expected something beyond what she had told me. I wasn't aware of the exact reason why she'd stopped attending. He pauses in thought and releases a sigh. I had presumed it was due to Emma leaving. Why did Emma leave? She had to move away due to family reasons. She was very close with Sarah. He breaks from the screen. The registers indicate that Sarah hasn't been in class today. What should I do? I recommend that you don't return to the art club for the time being. I will inform Mr. Thatcher. So we're the ones who will end up punished for it? That's BS. His face stiffens but eases as he catches my eyes. I know you're upset, but procedures must be followed. I think the best thing you can do right now is make sure Sarah's okay. But I've heard you've both spent some time together outside of school. An easy smile rests on his lips. I think it might be a good idea for you to go and see her. He's right. But what should I say to her? What have you spoken about so far? A smile seizes my lips from our conversation at the park. I don't think now's the right time to talk to her about the origin of the universe. Your smirk assures me you'll be fine. Sarah's stronger than she appears, but I'm sure she'd appreciate a friend right now. Thank you. This time I offer him a handshake, and he claps down with both hands. Believe me, I'm worried about Sarah too. I'll do what I can. I'm glad she's found a new friend in you. I have a friend, Sarah. I almost smile, but I know she needs someone right now. A knock and press my ear to her door. The sound of footsteps fill me with hope and apprehension. The lock clicks, the door creaks ajar. She pokes her eye in the frame. Hey. She measures me, waiting for me to begin. Hey. Silence constricts my lungs. She's right here, and it's like I can't reach her. Have you been to class today? I know the answer, but it's the only question I have. She sinks into herself, gaze fixed on my shoes. What confidence I had slumps into a stupor. My mouth opens, but my words are lost. After a few tense moments, she steps from behind the door. It creaks open. She lets me in. She's let me in. Her room strikes me as archaic compared to my own, but her room looks neglected. A few used plates, bags of chips, cans, and numerous paper balls are scattered across her room. She navigates her way through the mess and sits on her bed, her head craned towards the back wall. Are you okay? It's painful to ask such a stupid question given the sight, but I feel stranded and ashamed as I stare at her from across the room. It takes a few seconds for a response, a nod, and a strange smile that twists my heart. I force myself to take the difficult first step and make my way over to the bed. I sit down gingerly beside her. Do you want to talk? My words are stolen by a shake of her head. Time seems to stand still in the room. I'm not sure whether I'm the cause or if she's secluded herself in here like this since yesterday. There's this distinct feeling that I shouldn't be her gnawing at me. This significance that she's let me in isn't lost on me, but I'm not sure what to do if she won't talk. The feeling that she wants to be alone wins. I rise, frozen by a tug on my sleeve. Don't. Unsure of how I should react, I sit back on the bed beside her. To my surprise, she leans her head against my shoulder. Her room has clearly been neglected before this happened. None of the plates look fresh. I can't help think about the apathetic state I was in at my uncle's. I didn't care about my surroundings. I would do anything to distract myself. I finally formed something to say, but bask in our mutual silence and relish her warmth. The feeling of being needed, that I matter, is enough to make me pause and appreciate another person's touch. And as I look to her, I can't rationalize why I care about this girl beside me so much. If she doesn't want to talk, I can at least help with her surroundings. My surroundings have often been as scatterbrained as my mind. Hey, we should clean up. I can help you. She blushes, levering herself from my shoulder and taking in the room. Knowing how hard it is to get out of a rut, I'm ready to push it. Believe me, I've created worse. Although she chuckles, she still looks a little unsure. Hey, come on. It'll be a lot faster with the two of us. I take the initiative and begin throwing wrappers in the bin, but it's already full. Are there any more bags? I think I know where some are. When she leaves, my curiosity takes over. I unravel a paper ball. The image within is a shaded silhouette with a finger gun pressed to its head. There's one There's one color, the blood spurting from the exit wound. The paint is fresh, smudged, uncharacteristic of what I've seen of her work. Her footsteps draw near, so I scrunch it up and throw it towards the bin. She arrives with the bags, and we tackle the room in silence. Her shoulders ease as she takes in the room. Much better. I need to do the same in my room now. She smirks and stares back to the floor, but I know I can't let our mutual relaxation get in the way of the situation. Sarah? Do you want to go back to the art club? She shrugs her shoulders and turns her head away. Think about it. We at least go to class tomorrow. Her lips purse. I will. But I'm not sure what she's agreeing to, but there's a certain resolve in her words. I'll see you around. I turn for the door. Bye, Peter. I turn on the ball of my foot. I'm across the way if you ever need someone to talk to, even if you just want to hang out. The smile breaking out on her lips is more than a reward. Thank you. I leave her to her thoughts. I know I've got plenty more to think about myself. I never did tell Sarah not to return to the art club today. She did seem doubtful, but there's no way I can chance leaving her in the lesson by herself after what's happened. I'm a little early, finding Sarah in her usual space beside me. Mr. Thatcher breaks away from a conversation with her. Hey. Her body relaxes with a sigh. A smile breaks out on the corner of her lips. To see her smile after seeing her so down in her room leaves a flutter in my stomach. Hey. Her head rests a notch higher with the absence of Rachel. Got any ideas for your project? She nods as she flicks her pad open, at ease when it comes to art. It's a familiar view, school buildings and dorms in front of the forest. You've been on the roof? She responds with a nod. I want to make a collage of landscapes. Hey, nice, good idea. What are you going to do? My smile yields as my lips scrunch into thought. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it. All I've been able to think about is how Rachel treated her. About her locking herself in her room. About her resting against my shoulder. My smile returns at the latter. You can do some landscapes with me. That's if you want. Yeah, sure. Mr. Thatcher grabs the class's attention and begins the exercise. The session wraps up. I don't think it could have gone better. Mr. Thatcher has surely intervened with Rachel. Even her friends have been absent. I've managed to learn a better shading technique with the help of Sarah, and the fact Sarah's been so responsive in a lesson is a blessing in itself. Are you going to work on something later? I had just planned to go back to my room. When are you going to start working on another piece? I might do later. Can I come if you do? Sure. Just knock on if you feel up to it. I will. Sarah's features tighten as we reach the dorms. I realize why as I follow her gaze. It's Rachel, and what I assume is her older brother. Oh boy. This music. Ryan, meet Peter. Her voice loaded with malice. A pang of fear freezes over my spine when his eyes lock on mine. This guy is massive. His short hair descends to his beard that adorns his gritted teeth. What did you say to my little sister? He slams his chest into mine, nostrils flaring. His ragged breath assaults my own. Look, we don't want any trouble. Despite my wavering voice, I puff out my chest. Do you even know why I defended Sarah? His fingers flex into a fist. Before I can react, I'm flailing back, jaw smarting from impact. My heart pounds to the beat of adrenaline. I hoist myself up, wary of another blow. Stop, listen. He's not listening. I step back and avoid his next swing. Get off me! We turn to find Sarah's pinned down Rachel. Ryan turns his sights. Get off of her! You're not touching Sarah. I catch his jaw with a right hook that shocks even myself. Words bubble from my lips. Listen, you idiot. Your sister told Sarah to cut herself. Despite the anger burning down my throat, the words are cast cold. Adrenaline floods to the tips of my fingers. I assault his shield of arms. He lunges forward, his tackle taking me off guard. We crash to the ground. His weight crushes the air from my lungs. His fist connects with my eye, then my nose. My eyes well up and the taste of blood rises from the back of my throat. Ryan, get off him! Dean drags him back with the help of Mr. Brent. Get off, I'll kill him! I pick myself up, but my legs give way. I stumble forward and catch myself on hands and knees. Sarah rushes over, lifting me from under my arms. Oh my god, are you okay? I nod in response, residual adrenaline coursing through my veins. My ears ring and head lolls. Blood drips down my chin onto her sleeve. Sorry about that. She brings her face level and looks into my eyes. I'm fine. I reassure her with a palm on the shoulder. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Peter, come with me. Another teacher collects Sarah as I follow Mr. Brent. I don't want to face the world today. The thoughts of how I hadn't warned Sarah not to attend kept playing in my mind, and my ego is an open wound. For a second, I thought everything was okay. Sarah had actually begun to open up since the first time, and it happens again. Mr. Brent instructed me to go to the staff room this morning. At least I get to skip some of first period. With the majority of teachers in class, there are only a few other members of staff beside Mr. Brent. Peter, take a seat. I pull up the chair. Your story checks out from what footage I can find on camera. Relief gives me a little solace. Thanks for checking through it so soon. I've been looking through their records and they seem to have been involved in numerous instances. There's been a formal appeal submitted to have them both expelled. Ryan was on the brink as it was. Good riddance. Maybe they should have gone sooner. Maybe so, but the rules must be followed. Have you spoken to Sarah? No, I'm not certain who she spoke to. So, is that everything cleared up? Can I go? Clearly, don't hesitate to find me if you have any more problems. He flashes a wink. It feels out of place. Thanks. I'm not ready for class today. Sarah? I press my ear to the door. Nothing. Thought I'd find you here. She stiffens, and the pebble slips from her fingers. I take it from the floor and manage 6 skims. Got any more? She lays her satchel between us, taking another and lining herself up. I'm sorry. We keep our gazes fixed out on the reservoir. Don't be. I knew she was still there. I thought I could have avoided something like that. I shrug, taking another stone. Shit happens. I manage a calm tone, but just thinking about it ignites anger in my stomach. Thank you. I ease up, lifting my brow. What for? Getting my ass kicked? Venom leaks from my wounded ego. For sticking up for me. For being here for me. If I hadn't asked you, you didn't know, and you could have left when you did. I wouldn't have. Whether I stayed because I felt it was my fault, or for the fact I'm able to spend time with Sarah, conflict. What made you go back? She tilts her head. Such nuances about her seem amplified. It was a promise I'd made. To who? Emma. When Rachel saw, she started calling me out. She stumbles and tries to push more words out. I skim another stone in silence. Before Emma left, I drew a picture for her and shared it with the class. Rachel waited for me after class and pulled my hair in front of her friends. How come? You didn't hit her when you had the chance. I didn't want to hurt her. I don't like hurting anything. No matter how naive it seems, all I can think is, you're an angel. So, Emma had me promise her that I'd keep art up and not let people like her stop me from the club. It sounds like she was a good friend. A wry smile twists her lips. Yeah, a friend. Since Emma left, haven't you made any friends? No. Her candid answer leaves us in silence. I fight with curiosity. Why not? I I don't really like people. Sometimes I question whether or not I should be here. What about me? She glances into my eyes. It takes her a moment to pierce my soul. You're different. For the first time, I'm happy to be different. We finish off the stones in mutual silence. Somehow I feel closer to her than ever. We sit on the top of the bank, watching the sun's reflection dance on the surface. My smile weighs on my aching jaw, but with this girl beside me I can't help it. I have to say, the melodies of the birds are so relaxing. I attempt to retain the lightened mood. Not if you're a worm. I chuckle, following her gaze to a worm on the bank. Just what goes through that head of hers? Can worms even hear? She shrugs, smile pulling on the corner of her lips. I don't know. Thanks for reading. Be sure to check out the other route segments and ending. Leave feedback as provided. Please be patient for the credits. There's also a .text file. The end. Okay, so it's back to the main menu. Well, I did it. I'm like I said, I'm really sorry that this took so long, but I really enjoyed that. I really needed that, honestly. I can say that I needed that. But for what is probably the last time, this is Cheeseburger Jesus signing out. I don't know what to say. It's so official, but I don't know. I may come back, but I probably won't. I mean, life got in the way so much that it took almost a month to make this video alone. And I'm sorry for that, but I have no excuse. I'm just, yeah. This is Cheeseburger Jesus signing out. Good luck with whatever you do next, and may life lead you to great places. I may see you in the future, I may not. But good luck to you, whoever you are and wherever you're from. Bye-bye!